number 2, Karen Herbert on table number 3. From Kimbolton, Ronnie Goss, ever smiling. And Ty Happy's lady, Cherie Alabaster on table number 1. Good luck, contestants. Shearers take the board. Look, once upon a time, they wouldn't even turn around when you introduced them. We are making progress here.
Timekeeper's ready.
Come on, Shearers, onto the board, thank you. Okay, we're ready to rock. Timekeeper's right. Judges, competitors, go. No more mucking around, guys. Let's set them alight.
That's right, Shearers. As long as the door closes behind you, it is good to go. Okay, we have got, how many baskets have we got here? Gerald, I think is there 11?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 plus the wool.
Okay,
12.
so that means that we're going to have 12 lines of wool coming off the next 7 sheep.
That's what we like. Well, we've got second shear and full wool, of course. So a bit of a change over there. They get it easy just at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, while they're on this first sheep. They can ease their way in. What are they trying to do for you newcomers that have just arrived? It's a very, very good time to arrive because there's a whole lot at stake. So we're going to really see the X factor arrive out of these wool handlers up here. I can tell you that there'll be some banging and some clanging, and there'll be some wool floating here and there. Now they're trying to add value to this fleece for the farmer. They're trying to make sure that the New Zealand brand stays good and strong throughout the world. This is going to be the line of Brentworth carpet that you buy. You're going to support the wool industry from here on in to make sure this stays, because this is what keeps these girls in wages, is what pays their bills, puts food on the table and gives their children somewhere to sleep. Tuma, we're getting ready for the throw. Ladies and gentlemen, these throws are very, very important. They need to land flat and all on the table. Here we go.
Karen Herbert, that's a beauty. Joel Henry, a little bit overhang. I'd say it'd have to be Karen Herbert and Ronnie Goss.
Oh, yeah, in the
okay,
middle.
Shearers, keep it going. Let's keep the pressure on these wool handlers.
On to the side goes Cherie Alabaster down on the stand here. Grab that little bit of wool. They've got lots of baskets. They've got to know where it's going. But they know they're very, very experienced. They'll have it set up like this every single time they're up here on stage, shining under the spotlight as they would. Now Cherie Alabaster's back to the board. Now we're going to get some action, ladies and gentlemen. We've got wool on the table. We've got wool coming off on the board. Action, action, action. They've got to get that crutch there. Take a look at the judges. They're getting right in close there. They're not going to get away with anything here. We want the 2 top ones. We want the very, very, very best to be representing us at the World Champs over in Ireland. And it's going to come down to these 7 fleeces. Tuma, it is good.
It certainly is good. Here we go. Wool handlers back to the tables. They need to get the fingers moving, pull out all the discoloured wool. The discoloured wool comes from when the sheep is lying on the ground and the legs are outstretched, rubbing in the dirt. Here we go. Roll up time. Nice, tight and compact. You can see these wool handlers have all got different little things that they do, different little niches, but it all seems to work. Down the last side work these shearers. Another fleece is about to hit the table. All of these wool handlers seem fairly comfortable at the moment, yes. Gerald. We don't want them comfortable.
No, keep those shearers going as they arrive. What are you thinking, ladies and gentlemen? What are you thinking, other wool handlers? An absolute beauty by Herbert there in stand 3. A little bit of bunching down there in stand 4. Joel Henry, world champion, of course. Ronnie Goss. Now, I've decided it's got a poker face. I was giving her a bit of chat, basically a bit of banter in the semis there. And making out how she just cruised and floated around. But do you know what she did when she was finished? She dropped her body to the knees and she was exhausted. It's a poker face that Ronnie puts on. She's taken this very, very serious, ladies and gentlemen, as she goes back to the crutch wool. Cherie Alabaster, she gets the leg up. She had to get right over there with that little board she's got so she can reach right back under the catchy pen door if she has to. Sweeps it all to the side. Ronnie back to the table. The plus she's got, as she does for some reason, she sort of floats around and everything is so efficient with her. There's just no wasted time, no wasted energy. Back to the table goes Kieran Herbert. Back to the table, Joel Henry. Look at those little fingers go, ladies and gentlemen. Up to the top of the fleece where the head wool would normally be. Herbert heavy with that one. Chucks it in the bin, wrapped up nice and tight. Doesn't worry about it. They've got to have these tables clear, ladies and gentlemen. See that little bit of wool hanging around there? That needs to come off. Ronnie's listening to the speakers. We like that. Tuma, over to you.
Down the last side, work these shearers. This is the third for wool. There's one more in the pen. Shearers, we need you to pick it up a little bit more. Come on, put the hammer down, because these two wool handlers that win this will be representing New Zealand. Here we go. Come on, shearers. Put a bit more pressure on these wool handlers. They're having a bit of a holiday here, Gerald.
Wow, it's given them time, but look at that for precision. Wow, just like throwing out a solid rug for a picnic rug. Well, I can tell you right now, it's not like a folded up picnic rug when you get hold of these in your hands. It's loose, it's floppy, it's got little parts where the legs were in the back and in the front, and it's got the head wool. And all of that needs to land on this table, folks, when it comes to full wool. Now they've done the half again. They go back for that crutch wool. Oh, it's a very repetitive thing, this wool handling, just like shearing. It's the same thing over and over again. Each and every day is the same. They call it Groundhog Day, a very famous movie from that, and that's how the shearing industry rolls. Hermit, back she goes. She's the first one on the far side. By jolly, she's going to have to buy a new suitcase to take all her medals home. She's just having a real tidy up this year at the Golden Shears 2014. She wraps that one nice and tight, running back to the stand. By jolly, she just got there in time, Tuma. Back to the table, a shake and a bang and a pull of the old wool out of the grating.
Hey, certainly this is the fourth and final sheep. Johnny McBride, we need you to do the countdown. Guys, we need you to drop all together. Yes, let them go, guys. Johnny McBride, 15 seconds.
We're away on the count now. Beautiful throws coming in.
Change of wool.
5 seconds have got 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 seconds.
Okay, shearers, let's go.
Go.
Come on, shearers, put a bit of heat on these wool handlers.
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Sheree Alabaster getting the leg up. Okay, it wasn't on the table. We've lost some points there, but I need to get a good visual on that, what needs to come off and what doesn't, and I can't do it when I can't see it under good light. So she gets it and sits it on the leg. Ronnie Goss, table is free. Oh, she's on the broom. Oh, Ronnie, you're so good for my health. You just slow me down, even commentating on. You just chill me out. But I'm telling you right, she's not chilled out. She's fired up. Onto the floor with the second shear. Up the undermine, the shearers go. Up the neck, keep going. Shearer number 1. Cherie Alabaster. Look at this. This is the second shear. We've still got 3 tables, Tuma. A little bit hanging down here. What's happening down there? Kieran Herbert. We've got to make sure that they all get a lot of exposure, because 2 of these are going to represent us. Joel Henneray. Tuma, what's happening down that way?
Joel Henare has still got his fleece on his table. Cherie Alabaster down there on table 1. Her fleece is in the fadge. Ronnie Goss's fleece is in the fadge. These wool handlers, they're not sure what the heck they're doing. They come out with a game plan, but anything can happen when you're dealing with shearers and dealing with sheep and wool. Down the last side come these shearers. 2 more fleeces in the pens. These wool handlers, they are going to represent New Zealand. Places first and second will be representing New Zealand and Ireland. So this is a real big deal, Gerald.
This is a big deal, all right. Now the big deal is they've got to have that board nice and clean. That shearer can't come out. There can't be any wool there. You'll just kick it out of the way and say, wool away. That's not going to cut the mustard, and you won't see that at this grade. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you've just seen here on stand 1, those brooms. They're not stuck. They're not rigid. They pivot and spin round and round. You've got to know how to handle them to make sure they stay flat on the floor. And if you handle them real well, you can get that wind really working for you. Just swoop it round. But we're on the second shear. If you're wondering what's going on and why aren't they throwing it on the board, hey, that's not part of the package with the second shear. It all goes on the floor. And then you'll see they'll do the big blend, won't they, Tama? They'll do the big blend and shake it all up and chuck it as high as the light so it all looks the same. And we've got an average, length right through the whole, bale would all be in the end of the line.
Yes, that's right, Gerald. We call it the shakedown.
Shakedown.
We need all these fleeces blended into each other so they're like one. And we want that wool to look like candy floss. A big reason that we do that is if there is any faults left in the main line, it's very, very hard to find. So down the last side work these shearers, wool handlers right there. This is a bit of a mess. If you have a look under these tables, it all looks like a bit of a mess. I'm not sure how long these wool handlers have got to clean up at the end. I think it might be 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Here we go. Come on, guys. Last sheep on the board. This is for the world's team, Gerald.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Shearing slowly but surely sort of brushing that off. Just keeping a good eye on it as it goes under those powerful lights to see if there was any little wee brown bits in there that shouldn't be there. They get right down to the little bits, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at this Joel Henry. He's blocked the judge over on the corner here. The judge was stuck there. He clever boy, yes. Clever boy.
A lot of tactics goes on as they go back to the board now. Joel Henry loading up the baskets down there. On to the second, second shear, the last fleece it is, as they take off the top knots. That's got to come out. Kieran Herbert, she sorts the belly wool. You've got that real tight sort of fribby old stuff up the top. That's got to come out. They're both not worth a lot. But hey, if you can add value to it and just add a wee bit more, it may pay the wages. The farmer might get enough money to pay the contractor for the day. So it makes a difference. There is a saying, you look after your pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. They're trying to add value to this for product for the farmer. Joel Henry working his way around there. Look at him with those little fingers. Just working right round, right beside the shearer. Some of these wool handlers, they get that close to the handpiece, they get a cut finger the odd time. We're getting ready. Tuma, we're getting ready for a shakedown.
30 seconds starts now. Here we go, 30 seconds. That's the seal time. It's 1 point for every 10 seconds. After that, it's 1 point per second. Ronnie Goss has been the master at this one. She's always the first to put her hand up. But you got Cherie Alabaster, Kieran Herbert, Joel Henry. You got all the guns up here. All the who is who in the wool handling is right here. Right. Oh, Ronnie.
23, 25.
Kieran Herbert back to the board. Still working away. Shifts a bit of a basket here and there. Make sure she's been underneath. Hands in the air.
Time for Joel.
Oh. Well, they weren't very far away from that, were they, eh? Just a couple of, maybe 2 seconds outside the clock there. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Great competitors for these wool handlers. Excellent stuff. We will no doubt hear in the future who are the two representatives for New Zealand. Next up on the card is the Golden Shears Open semi-final. Open shearing semi-final. Nothing short of 10 sheep of the bag shot ewes for those top line of contestants. In the heat one will be Mark Ranger, Gavin Much, Tony Costa, Murray Henderson, Cam Ferguson, Darren Ford. That's from stand 6 to 1. And here we have on the heat number 2 will be John Kirkpatrick, David Buick, Nathan Stratford, Roland Smith, David Fagan, Dion King from stands 1 to 6.
You could be reading 2 open final heat out there, couldn't you? The lineup, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely terrific.
Anywhere on a different day, those 6 guys would grace any open final in the world. It wouldn't matter which one you took. But today we need to cut it in half. This is the Golden Shears where we try to find the top man. We don't try, well, we do try hard, but we succeed in achieving the Golden Shears finalists in every event. And of course there will be one winner and one winner only. 10 sheep to shear, and they are bag shot ewes, so they're full and lively. But of course we're into the warlords now. We've got rid of all the students and the apprentices. We're into the warlords. They're going to do battle up there with these 10 sheep. Magnificent stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who they are, what they've done, what reputation they've done, what reputation they've got worldwide. It really counts for nothing up there, does it, John? Because it's all down to battle. And that's what you can call it. It's going to be a real battle up there between those top 12 open shearers. And they're going to be going at it hammer and tongs.
Well, you wouldn't expect anything less, you. It's, you know, when you get over to of course, what we're looking for is the winner of the Golden Shears, but also a team member to the World Championships in May. So there's going to be a battle in Ireland for those people, those representatives who are going to have the silver fern on. We need to find the person with the best abilities. And that's why all these sponsors come around. They like to see us find the person with the best ability and reward them. And we thank the sponsors for being part of it. And we hope that you support the sponsors. A whole lot of advertising around the hall, absolutely brilliant, a lot of colour. We hope you look after those sponsors in the next 12 months and make sure that they come back. Just tell them you saw them supporting the Golden Shears or any shearing competition around the country, and with the committees of each event will be very grateful for your support.
Yeah, of course, we'd like to thank them all, and there's a few down here on the front as well, John. And I think it's getting on in the early hours of the morning over in the UK, but I know that the guys at the Lister Shearing Factory in Dursley and Gloucester are watching. As there are people all over the world. There's a lot of people watching this in Australia, over in Norway, in the UK. And I'm sure they'll be shouting at their computer screens later on in the evening when we move on to those big finals.
And the neighbours will think they're mad.
Probably,
Fancy yelling at a computer screen. What next?
Yeah, who did?
Hey, well, Lala, the fellow next door neighbour's Lala, he's shouting at a bit of glass.
Yeah, I bet they never thought when they set up the Golden Shears 54 years ago that they'd be seen all over the world.
Well, that was probably a bit of a dream for somebody in a pipe, but it's been achieved through the modern technology, and we're very grateful for our supporters that made that possible.
Yeah, they said that within 25, I think there's a 25-second delay between the actual action here in Masterton to seeing it live on the internet over the other side of the world.
Mariah Braddock, would you please come to the microphone area? Mariah Braddock, we have a wee one that's lost you. So here we have another top liner. We have our shearers down on the side, do we? I can see one. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, gentlemen, could we have you at the bottom of the stairs? We just do, otherwise we're going to trip the judges up. We will welcome these shearers onto the board. We do have a green light. On stand number 6 from Tikawiti, Mark Granger, ladies and gentlemen.
On to stand number 5 from Whangamomana and Scotland, Gavin Much, ladies and gentlemen.
On 4, Tony Costa from Rakaya.
All the way from Fielding, Murray Henderson.
Waipaw's Cam Ferguson on number 2.
And from down in the deep south, from Invercargill, Darren Ford. Give them all a big round of applause.